Hello and welcome to Is This Your Card? Today we're looking at Savagery. Savagery is a one-cast card that does your hero's attack damage to a minion. Savagery is deceptively simple, barely ever played, and with good reason to be honest. For Savagery is only useful on one single turn, and that means it's only useful really on a turn where you've already played something like Bite or Claw. Or, if you're like me and you've played one of my favourite cards in the game, Savage Combatant, it's useful when you just inspire or use your hero power. Savagery is one of the few cards that can actually be used as a spell that does absolutely no damage. Savagery can actually be used when your hero has no attack damage, and therefore cannot in any way whatsoever it just won't do anything. It'll just fall flat. You can cast it, but it won't do anything. It's a pointless spell at that point. Savagery, once again, is a 1-mana spell, meaning it synergizes with Gazlowe, allowing you to get a free mech for the price of potentially no damage whatsoever. Savagery can also be used as a disposable spell, just to throw it away and just gain a card from a Gadget Zone auctioneer. Savagery does, however, have a particularly lethal and surprisingly unexpected effect. Because Savagery does your hero's attack damage to a minion, this means there is a situation in which you can use it that means you don't have to actually physically rely on the buffs from Bite or Claw or Inspire or any sort of thing that gives you that temporary damage. If you use a Blingtron or another thing that gives you a weapon, Savagery will do your weapon's damage to an opponent as well as any buffs you put on it. So this means that Savagery can actually be played quite nicely in a deck that focuses on getting weapons to a druid or buffing druid power. Though I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you focus on that, because that's a very specific and strange thing to want to do. Savagery's limitation, though, is more than just the fact you can use it without actually having any physical hero attack. Savagery also has another rather bad, rather galling, and rather terrible limitation. In and of itself, Savagery has this problem, well, simply because it focuses on... It's basically, to cut it to the chase, because I'm just waffling here, Savagery can only attack minions. So if you had a dream of buffing your hero up to 15 attack, then Savagerying the face, or buffing your hero up to 10 attack and double Savagerying the hero and finishing them off in a glorious display, that's not going to happen. Savagery can only target minions. So, to be fair, you can, with double Savagery, potentially kill 3 of your opponent's minions for 2 mana and whatever buffs you have, but that's not really worth it. Savagery is a little too situational, I find. Savagery can be very useful for picking off very low health minions. Things like a Magma Rager, if anyone actually plays them, which is a 5/1. Not something you want to hit in the face with your hero power, but you could Savagery that quite nicely. 1 mana for 3 mana minion, and you still get to conserve your hero's hit points. So that's a pretty good use of Savagery. Other than that, don't use Savagery. If you're going on a mech basis and you're running Gazlowe, then yeah, I can see people using Savagery for that reason, simply because it would help get more mechs from Gazlowe. But otherwise, there's really no reason to be running Savagery at all. I would just skip it. I would just completely ignore it and go and do something a little bit better with my time and not put Savagery into my deck. Savagery is a very heavy combo-based card, and that is the reason why people don't use it. If your hero doesn't have any attack, Savagery is literally useless, and because you can use it when you can't do any damage to it, some people might find a way to get use from that, but personally, the only use I have for Savagery is none at all.